Hello everyone, welcome to A Fistful of Dice. This is going to be the third episode in my Dream Theater series. I wanted to start talking about the albums today. I'm going to do one video per album, and each video is going to talk about each track and the history surrounding the album and stuff like that. But to really do what I want to do with those videos, I need to be able to edit, and as most of you know, the video card on my desktop is dead, which means I cannot do any editing on this computer without it crashing and flipping out on me. So, to do those videos justice, I'm going to wait on doing the albums for now. But what I am going to do for this video is I'm going to talk about some of the Dream Theater items that I own, items in my collection, that I think are really cool. So the items we're going to be looking at today are a couple of collector's items, and then also the beginnings of my Dream Theater vinyl collection. So, let's just jump right into it here with the first vinyl. And this is the first record that I have ever bought, ever. And this is Metropolis Part 2, Scenes from a Memory. This is the reissue that recently came out. Well, recently, it was last year. But this is the first album in the reissue series. They're going to be reissuing all of the albums, hopefully. They just put out pre-orders for Images and Words, which I, of course, pre-ordered. And I was really bummed because the first 500 pre-orders got a special red and gold vinyls, but I missed out on that by like a couple, so I only get the black vinyls, but that's okay. I'm only a little bit disappointed about it. So, this is the Metropolis Part 2 Scenes from a Memory vinyl. And you can see that it's actually numbered, if I can take my finger off. There were 2,000 of these printed, and I have 1,065 of those. This here is the studios that they were filmed at, which is a studio that no longer exists, and it's Bear Track Studios in New York. This is where they recorded Images and Words, and this album here, Scenes from Memory, and yeah, it's kind of sad that it is closed. It's actually a studio out in the woods, completely secluded, and if you watch some of the videos of them recording there, it looks like a really beautiful, serene place. Like, if you were going to record an album, that's where you'd want to be. So, but the Bear Track Studios are no longer open. Inside the vinyl, you have newspapers and letters, which tell parts of the stories of the album. This is a concept album. And it's kind of interesting. This newspaper right here, there's a track on this album called Fatal Tragedy, which is all about the media coverage of the murder, and the story is actually written, this newspaper story here is written with the lyrics of the song. So there's little Easter eggs like that all throughout the album, and then over here you have all the lyrics for all of the songs, and then the suicide note, which is talked about in the album. And then there's nothing really special on the actual LPs themselves, but I'll just show you one of them so you can see what it looks like. So this is side A here. Sorry for the glare, but and side B. And yeah, just really simple, nice black and gold. And each side has a little dagger on it, which isn't really significant to the album, but makes sense, I suppose. So that is my Metropolis Part 2 Scenes from a Memory, which is probably, if not my favorite, then it's tied as my favorite Dream Theater album. I'm a sucker for concept albums, and instrumentally this album is just very cool. So that's Metropolis Part 2 Scenes from Memory. The second vinyl that I own is one that I just received for Christmas from my parents, and that is their most recent album, A Dramatic Turn of Events. Show you the back here. So the back and front of the vinyl are identical to the CD, which I also own. But the inside has some different art. You can see the little tightrope guy here on the power lines. And then what's really cool about this vinyl is that the actual slip covers for the discs have art on them. So this has some different art and some lyrics on it. More art and lyrics. And then there's art on all of the vinyls, both sides. And I'll show you the other vinyl here as well. And I am one of those posers that owns records but doesn't have a record player. It's not that I don't want to listen to these, it's just I haven't got around to getting a record player, and I own these for more than just listening to, I own them for collecting purposes. I like to collect Dream Theater stuff, so. And I intend to collect all of their albums. So, more lyrics. Hopefully the glare isn't too bad. And then on this side you've got an image of the band. You've got Mike Mangini over here on the end, which is the newest member. It's their new drummer. This is John Petrucci, founding member. He's the guitarist. James Labrie, their vocalist. Jordan Rudess, keyboardist. And John Myung, bassist and founding member. Pretty good picture of the guys there. And then I'll show you the record itself here. Pretty cool. But yeah, I do intend on getting a record player here pretty soon so I can listen to these. I want to get a record player and a really nice pair of headphones and sit down someday and just listen to these all the way through in their entirety. I've listened to records before, and you know, I'm not one of those guys that's going to sit here and debate between analog and digital sound, but you definitely get a different feel with records. I'll just say that. The next two items I have are two pretty rare items, actually. I'm pretty proud of owning these, and let's see, I'll talk about this one first. So this requires a bit of a story. So Dream Theater recorded a live album, Live Scenes from New York, which is one of their DVDs as well, which I showed in the previous video. But every time they put out a live DVD, they also release a live album. And, well, most of the time. And the Live Scenes from New York featured their usual logo, or their old Majesty logo, which was a burning heart with barbed wire around it. But they did kind of a shift on that with an apple on fire, so like the big apple. And you can see the New York skyline in the background with the Twin Towers. So you can imagine why this album cover might be a little bit controversial, but do you believe me when I tell you that this album was released on September 11th, 2001? The date of the September 11th World Trade Center attacks. These albums were immediately yanked from the shelves, and they put out a new cover for the second printing. Obviously they didn't mean to do that, no one knew that was going to happen, but pretty big coincidence, and the members of Dream Theater, most of which are from New York, were obviously quite mortified that that had happened. So yeah, so I own one of these, still in the shrink wrap, and with the specially priced 3 CD live album sticker on it, so this is quite a find. I actually got this on eBay for not a bad price. Usually you can find them pretty cheap, but finding one sealed is pretty rare, so I'm pretty pleased with this addition to my collection. So that is the Dream Theater Live Scenes from New York pulled album cover. Only first printing of this exists, so. I always like telling people that story because it's just like, oh, no! And then this is the crowning achievement of my Dream Theater collection. This is the British second printing of Lifting Shadows by Rich Wilson, which is the Dream Theater biography. Now, obviously this is a beautiful edition of the book. It's it's gorgeous. Leather bound with kind of a mahogany leather with, this is actually inlaid gold. But what's really cool about this is that it is autographed by the author, Rich Wilson. I've read this book, and it's very interesting for Dream Theater fans. It has pictures and stuff in it. But this book only goes up to their... which album? Black Clouds and Silver Linings album, so it doesn't go into Mike Portnoy's departure or finding Mike Mangini and recording Dramatic Turn of Events and all that, but I've read on forums that Rich Wilson, the author, is trying to get a new edition of it published with updated information. So I bought this last year as a birthday present to myself. It was not cheap, but it wasn't as expensive as you think it might be. It was over $100, but it was well under $200. I'll just say that. What I want to do with this is I would like for the whole band to autograph this. And when I say the whole band, I mean even the ones that have departed. Charlie Dominici and Mike Portnoy, Kevin Moore, Derek Sherinian, everyone who is talked about in this book as a member of Dream Theater, I would like to get their autograph in here. Now, is that going to happen? Probably not. But it's a dream of mine. So that is very cool. This is definitely my favorite piece of Dream Theater memorabilia that I own. And it's a damn good book as well. It's a good, if you're into rock music and rock biographies, I mean, this is pretty cool. So yeah, so those are just 4 kind of collector's items, Dream Theater-y items that I own. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to start going into the albums this week, guys. I really wanted to, but hopefully I will get my graphics card up and running eventually, and we can start in on the albums with When Dream and Day Unite. But until that time, we're just going to keep chugging along. This video series, this Dream Theater video series, might be put on hold for a bit in favor of my Hearst Arts video series, which will not require editing, I think. So, until I'm able to edit, I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing Dream Theater videos. But it's temporary. I will return to the Dream Theater videos if you guys are interested. So, let me know in the comments if you would like me to continue this video series, and I will do my damnedest to try and get a new video card for my desktop so that I can continue. In any case, that's it from me, guys. Hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. Happy gaming all, and take care.